Well, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as we always do. A couple of things I want to talk about today. First and foremost, I hope you had a great weekend. I hope your weekend was great. I hope everything that you wanted to happen happened for you this weekend and more in a good way, of course. Absolutely in a good way, my friend. And I'm reading something here. So we are now live. We are now live on the Morning Glow, and I got some news over the weekend that was a little disturbing to me. Got some news over the weekend that was a little bit disturbing to me, and it said that United Airline, United Airline, one of the big airlines. You got United, you got Delta, you got a couple of the big major ones, but they are, to my understanding, they are requiring everyone. They're requiring everyone that work for them to get that vaccine. United Airlines is requiring everyone to get that vaccine, and they're saying that if for whatever reason an individual do not get that vaccine, then they can no longer work there at United. I want to know how you all feel about that. Give me a call, 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. Are they justified in doing that? Now, this vaccine is not approved by the FDA yet. It's still in its experimental stages, though they say it is helping. They also say, I've also heard people say that some people that actually get the vaccine still contract COVID. They say that it's a milder version of COVID because they had the vaccine, but still it's not stopping people from getting becoming contaminated, if you will, with the COVID vaccine, with the COVID virus. And so should they have the right? Should United Airlines have the right to require that their employees get this vaccine? I would like to hear from you all, man. I know how I feel about it, but and I will give you my opinion, but I give you my opinion at the end. I want to hear what everybody else have to say first, and then we'll pretty much go from there. But do you think United Airlines has the right to tell their employees that they have to get that vaccine, and if they do not get that vaccine, then they cannot work? Dr. Fucci, I hope I'm saying his name right. Dr. Fucci also he has also said that he think that everybody in the medical field. He said, how could you be in the medical field? Excuse me. How could you be in the medical field, in that medical field, and see this stuff every day and not be vaccinated, not have that vaccine? He said he would put out there that he would require everybody in the medical field to get that vaccine. See, I think, and I said I was going to say it at the end, but I'm just going to put a little bit out there. I think that you should have a choice. I think that you really should have a choice as to whether or not you get that vaccine or not. Some people live and die by it. Some people love it. Other people don't want it. Some people just don't want to get it. Some people just don't trust it for whatever reason. And everybody got their own reasons for doing what they're doing and dealing with it in the way that they deal with it. But my thing is, should I be forced to get that vaccine? Should I be forced to get the vaccine? And if I choose not to, should you have the right to affect my livelihood? What do you say? 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Give me a call. Give me a call. I definitely would love to hear from you. Give me a call. Let me know what you think. And how do you feel about this whole situation? The medical field. They did pick that profession. There are certain vaccines, certain shots that they have to be in the medical field that they have to take. There are certain shots. Should this be one of them? Should this be one of the shots that they have to take? Mm. 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Give me a call. Let me know what you think. It's it's a toss for me. I feel the way I feel, and that's the way I feel. Whether it's right or wrong, I can't say whether it's right or wrong, but I can say it's my opinion, is how I feel, and 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 that's just what I'm standing on. Who is the Let me see. Just woke up. Yeah. Boy, I tell you, boy, look at here. Boy, these folks here, I guess that ain't what we talked about, but I guess. You know the number 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. I hope my phone lines are working better today. Last time they weren't working too good. They had a little issue. Hopefully they was working on some things on their end and they got it fixed. Because if not, starting tomorrow, we'll have a different number. If that's not work, if it's not working right starting tomorrow, we'll have a different number. So let's just see how everything plays itself out. But right now, the number 678-381-1973. Should you be required? Should you be required to get that vaccine? And if you decide that for whatever reason, if you decide that you don't want to get that vaccine, should it affect your livelihood? Should they be able to tell you that? And I know some people, I know how some people feel about this. They say, well, if you don't get the vaccine, you could be a carrier and you could be affecting other people. So can everybody else. Because you don't get the vaccine, I don't know if it's going to stop or eliminate somebody else from becoming affected. Because just like you could be a carrier, so can everybody else. Now, what if somebody that's not in that field decide they don't want to get it? I saw a situation on the plane where on Spirit, I think it was Spirit Airline, over the weekend, a gentleman was riding in first class, and people paid money to get on first class because they didn't want to be affected. They want to feel as though they were safe. They wanted to feel as though they were safe, so they didn't want to get come in contact with people that may not have taken the vaccine and stuff like that. And they talked to this one young lady. There was a gentleman on the plane. He absolutely refused. He absolutely refused to put on his mask. He refused to put on his mask. And because of the fact that he refused to put on his mask, everybody said that he was putting them in jeopardy. Said that he was putting them in jeopardy. And now he's they went on with the flight. And because they went on with the flight, he's banned. He's banned from actually flying on that airline now. I'm trying to get my thoughts together, get my stuff together here. I'm multitasking, but he's banned from actually being on that flight now. He's actually banned. He can't fly on Spirit anymore. They say until the mask regulations is lifted. And so if he want to go anywhere, and he probably got on Spirit because it was a cheaper fare. And so I'm multitasking, boy. I tell you, these folks, boy. Okay, yeah. So now he's banned. So because of the fact that he refused to put on a mask. Should you be required to put on a mask? If you decide that you don't want to wear a mask, is that your right? Is it your right if you decide that you don't want to put on that mask, if you don't want to have that mask on your face, is it your right to do so or not do so? And should someone have the right to come and tell you? Because it said on a flight, it said, I just flew not too long ago, and they'll tell you straight up and down that you have to put on your mask. If you're not eating, put on your mask. Wear your mask the whole time. And I and my wife had to do that. Like I said, we just flew to Hawaii not too long ago, and that's a long flight, but we had to have our mask on the whole flight. Had to have a mask on. We got a caller that's making a lot of noise in the background. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Tiffany.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
Is
Tiffany.
that better?
Yes, that's much better. What's going on, young lady? How you doing this morning?
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, I'm trying to let me see if my phone line's working. My phone line's still doing that same mess it was doing last week. It's not letting two people call in at the same time. That's crazy. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going. Let me hang up and pull the phone line back up again. Tiffany, give me 30 seconds and call me right back.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, this phone line's been acting up, man. I might have to go to my other. I got another service that I use. I may have to go to there in order to get all my calls in like I want to, because I'm not having this mess that they're trying to do. I have no idea what they're trying to do. So what I might end up doing before the day is out is give my other number out. Might give my other number out and do it that way. Because this right here, not working. Not working. Not working at all. But let's see what's happening here. See, get this person to call back in. But I don't understand. See, people want to stand up and they want to fight for what they say is their rights, which is a great thing. Fight for your rights. That's cool. But everybody else got rights, just like you got rights, just like you have rights. So does everybody else. They have the right to be healthy if they want to be healthy, and for you to come and infringe in what they're doing, that I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think that's a good thing at all. I don't think you should have the right to do so, and that's just where I'm standing. I don't think you should have the right to do that. I don't think you should have the right to infringe on somebody else's health and well-being. I just don't think so. What do you think? 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Again, 678-381-1973. That's the number to call in. So give us a call and let me know what you're thinking, and what are your ideas on this? You got three different scenarios here. You got one, the guy didn't want to put the mask on. You got two, the guy Frucci talking about in the medical field, you should be able to get the vaccine. You got three, United Airlines. And this is just a few. I'm just calling out a few. Now there's more. You got three United Airlines saying that if you don't get the vaccine, you can't work for them anymore. You got people that's been working for this company 10, 15, 20 years. And that's what they've been doing. That's all they know. And now, because of the fact that they decide or they select that they don't want to get that vaccine, you're telling them they can no longer work there. They're going to lose their livelihood, only livelihood that they know. I know flight attendants, man, been doing this thing for over 20 years. They love it. They love what they do. I could call a few of them right now and get them on the line, and they'll talk to you and tell you how much they love what they do. They like dealing with the people. They like to having the option of dealing with people and doing the things that they do on a daily basis. Been doing it for a very long time and are good at it. And they're good at it. So you're telling me now that because of the fact, what's going on my phone lines here? Let me shut it down and bring it back up. See, this is what you get right here, man. You pay for a service, and people start not giving you exactly what you paid for. Man, I'm telling you, this is crazy. Let me see. Do I need to check? Let me check for an update. Might need an update or something. Is there an update for this joker? No, it's saying you have the latest version. Okay, so what is really going on? I don't know. And y'all know that we do have a topic today. We hadn't gotten to the topic yet, but I want to get your heart. I want to hear your heart on what you think about this whole vaccine and how this thing is working, man. You got Fucci saying that if a person's in the medical field, got a call coming in. Give me 1 second here. Fucci, I believe that we got another caller. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
It's Tucson, man.
Tucson. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm well.
Good.
I'm well. I got some morning work issues, but
Monday morning.
hey,
The Monday morning blues.
Monday blues.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Monday
sir.
morning blues.
The
Yes,
Monday
indeed.
morning blues are setting in. They trying to get you, Tucson. Don't let them get you, brother. Don't let them get you.
No.
Don't let them get you.
I'll start multitasking.
Exactly. Tucson, I might have to change. I might have to change my phone line this morning, man. The phone is doing the same thing it was doing on Friday, and so I might go back to my other service and use that, and that actually frees up a lot. And give you a lot of other bells and whistles, but I just didn't want to do it because everybody knows this number right here. But Tucson, I got a question for you, brother. There's three things going on. There's three things going on I'm talking about this morning. One, Dr. Fucci, Dr. Fucci, the one that everybody loves so much. He made a statement over the weekend. He said that anybody in the medical field, because they're in the medical field, they should have that vaccine, and they should not be allowed to be in the medical field without taking that vaccine. That's number one. Number two, there was a guy on Spirit Airline over the weekend, first class, and on a 4-hour flight, he totally refused to put on a mask. and they landed. When they landed, they did what they're gonna do with him, but they put him on a list where he cannot fly on Spirit Airline anymore until that mass is regulation is lifted. Number 3, you got United Airline. United Airline is telling all the employees, if you don't get the vaccine, you can't come to work. If you don't get that vaccine, yeah, you cannot come to work if you don't have that vaccine. Now, this is United, which is a big airline. United, Delta, and you got certain ones as the big boys. What do you think about either one or all of those 3? What do you think?
Let me start with Fauci. You don't put you don't put your trust in one man. He ain't the smartest man in the world.
Come on,
he's not the only one. So I don't care what he says. I mean, and I'm pretty sure that he know what he's talking about. But he's not the only one.
Yeah.
The way this thing is going, it all fits in together. Because let me just cover all of them with one word. Money.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Money. That's it. The Spirit. Here's the guy. You know what his problem is? His type of thinking is the problem. The one that didn't want to put on his mask. That's the problem.
Yep.
There's people all over the nation, all over the world, say, you know what? I got the right to do this or do that, and you violating my constitutional rights. So I will not wear a mask.
Exactly.
I will not. I will not. And so if it's United, here's the thing about that. Something wrong with that when you have to be vaccinated to keep a job. Now, if it keeps on like this and companies start doing this, people still ain't gonna take it.
No, they're not.
They're just gonna be unemployed. So the crime rate's gonna go up. People gonna start losing their homes. Families gonna start breaking up. Children are gonna start suffering, while the rich get richer.
Yes, sir.
And the poor get poor. That's what's gonna happen. It's a work of the really. This is just me now. It's really the work of the enemy because he wants to throw people off guard because 2 things is happening. The real thing is there's a spiritual warfare going on. That's just me saying it. Somebody said, "Oh, here they go with that."
Yeah.
Here they go with that. No. You see, there's forces of good and evil. And the root of all evil is the love of money. And why would they give you money or have it a lottery, a chance? You're taking a chance. You have a chance to win such and such dollar amount if you take the vaccine. Somebody putting that money up, it ain't just coming up out of their ass nowhere.
Exactly.
Somebody putting it up. Who is it?
It's sure coming from somewhere now. Yep.
It's showing up coming from somewhere. They showed up, you know another thing, right? They sure been giving a lot of money away. Where all that money come from?
Somebody.
So I think it all fits together because somebody gets paid. They're giving the vaccine free, right?
Yeah, the vaccine is
free.
Yeah, the vaccine is absolutely free.
Ain't that so?
Oh, it don't seem right.
It's like that first hit of crack. It's free too. Now, let me say this, right? People gonna do what they want. Let me say something that I said I wasn't gonna say.
Come on, let's say it.
Let me share with you something. I myself I've taken it.
Okay.
That was my choice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But here's
Mm-hmm.
what I do. I still wear my mask. I
Mm-hmm.
always did wash my hands.
Yeah.
I don't go up. I don't let nobody around me. I don't
Mm-hmm.
get too close to people. When I see people, I go in the store, and if I don't, I have my mask in my pocket somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And out of respect for others that may feel like, okay, I'm gonna have my mask. You know what I do? Put mine on too. If I
Yeah.
don't have it on,
Exactly. Exactly.
I just do what I have to do because I ain't studying coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I'm not because I got to leave here anyway.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to do is treat people right.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
That's
And
more important. That's more important than fearing some virus
mm-hmm.
because I got to die anyway.
Some, you getting you leaving this ship in some kind of way.
Oh, you gonna leave here?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You getting it. I get, but see, my thing is this, right? My thing is everybody have the right, Tucson. Everybody have their right to do what they want to do or not do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But see, my thing is, and the guy on the plane, he was saying it was infringing on his rights to not wear a mask. But my thing is this right
Mm-hmm.
here, though, Tucson. Just like he have a right not to wear a mask, and it's his right to do so, and it is. It is. It's his,
Mm-hmm.
if it shows that he don't want, it's his right. But everybody around have a right too, brother. They have a right to be healthy if they want to be healthy.
Exactly. Exactly. We selfish.
Yeah.
Selfish. Me,
It's
mine, and I.
mm-hmm.
I gotta mute for a second, right?
Uh-huh.
But I'll be right back.
Okay, good deal, good deal. And I'm working on this new phone number right now. We're getting this new phone number together so everybody will be able to call in and do what it is that they want to do. In regards to this conversation. Let me see if I have anybody that came in. Okay, I'm multitasking, so y'all bear with me just for a second or two. I'm trying to get all this stuff together. Hold on for a second. But my thing is this right here, and just like I just said, man, yes, yes, you absolutely do have a right. You absolutely do have a right. If you don't want to if you don't want to wear your mask, you have a right to not wear your mask. But think about everybody that's around you. What kind of rights does they have? They have the right. They have the right to be healthy if they want to be healthy. Do they have the right to in an environment where they feel safe? They have their right. Or are you the only one with the right?
Mm.
Are you the only one that have a right to do what you want to do and deal with people how you want to deal with them and call it right? Now what is going on with this? I'm trying to put this thing in here and it's not working. No,
You need to use a can and two strings. Well, you're gonna need new strings if you're gonna go international. You're gonna probably have to put more strings on your can.
That's part of what's going on here, man. Because this thing ain't working at all here, man. Let me see, 7719. Yep. I don't know what's going on here, Tucson. It's saying that it's not. I'm putting something in wrong, but I know I'm not. Mm-hmm. 04.
To Friday, you when I disappeared,
Uh-huh.
you should have heard. I thought you left me on the broadcast by myself, so I was just a talking, trying to think going.
Uh-huh.
I said, you know what? I said, you know what? I'm talking to myself.
Come on now.
Yeah, and then I went back and I started watching y'all. I said, well, I'd be doggone. I am talking by myself.
No, it's just the phone line that I'm using right now, the Skype line that I'm using, they won't allow they would only allow one call to come in at a time, and I don't understand, what that's all about.
That's good.
Huh?
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it only will let me see.
You dropped them.
Yeah, I'm at to let them go, man.
They messing up.
Yeah, because like I say, I'm paying these folks a certain amount of money, and if I'm paying them the money, I shouldn't have this issue. Invalid credit card information. Why I keep saying invalid credit card information? Mm. Something ain't going right here, Tucson. I'm trying to figure
Hey,
out.
boy.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on here.
Boy.
But Tucson, what do you say now? Now we talked a little bit about uniting. What do you say about uniting, man? Should they have the right? And see, I think what they're doing, they're trying to make sure that everybody is safe and everybody that's working for them is safe and in the right place. So they're saying that if you're going to work here, if you're going to
Mhm.
work here, you have to get the vaccine.
That ain't right. I mean, here's the hard part, and I understand. I understand everybody's point of view. I really do because um uh here's the kicker.
Mm-hmm.
What people fear about the vaccine and the virus,
Mm-hmm.
they die anyway.
Yeah.
You still can catch it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know why?
Tell me
Because
why.
of the type of people that will not, for no reason whatsoever, because they feel like it's their right to not wear a mask. And here's the thing about a mask: you still can catch it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
And
so the sense of the matter is, you doing if you do, you doing if you don't.
exactly. And that's and
Ah,
that's what I was telling them earlier. I was saying that earlier about the same thing, man. Even some people that has the vaccine, even some people that has the vaccine still can catch it. They still
yeah.
can catch it.
So I don't go where I don't even like to talk about it because the final analysis is people gonna do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Exactly.
And it's not the people that wear masks, wash their hands, um, make sure that they sanitize and all of that. It's the people that just go in and they say, you know what? This is just a way for the government to control you. That's their
Mm-hmm.
mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And I will not be controlled by anybody. So, you know what they do? Go like nothing's going on. And you know what happens after that? We all go into funerals.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to happen. Hey, yeah, you might as well get ready.
It's gonna be a lot going
Matter
on,
of
huh?
fact, oh, it's going to, oh, yeah. In the state of Mississippi alone, yesterday, this morning, let me see if I can pull it up again. Just this morning, they had 16,000. No, not in Jackson County, not in Mississippi. Jackson County, they had 16,300 new cases
Mm.
as of this morning.
Good Lord. Good
This
Lord.
morning,
Mm.
258 deaths.
Mm. That's a lot there, man.
So, yeah, that's a lot. So the numbers are going back up because, see, what people do is get comfortable. And governments, they start uh, the mandate for wearing masks. They,
Mm-hmm.
they they go away from that. They say, well, no, we don't have to do it anymore. Let's go back to normal. Open up the stores, open up the, let's go to the ball game, let's do all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And people start doing it, but it's not the problem with doing it. It's the ones that already carry you ever saw a person um, go to the bathroom and just walk out.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
hmm Then,
Mm-hmm.
then, then, uh, we exchange money all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the gas station, you go to the store, and you just open the door. No gloves, no nothing.
Nothing.
We just, hey, it's not you. And I'm not saying that the people are nasty. It's just that they don't care about the next person. So they
Mm-hmm.
just do what they want to do. And here we go. I mean, they say the in our churches, they say that where it spreads more,
What's that?
in the choir stand
Mm. Mm.
because you're singing out,
Spitting and all kind of stuff.
and oh yeah, the microphone. You pass me the mic. You don't wipe it off or nothing. You just go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm.
And so, um, some like us, what we do is we just have a spread out praise team, no more than about 6 or 7 people
Mm-hmm.
in the whole choir stand. You can't have no full blown choir. Family reunions and funerals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we didn't start back again, going to funerals. And you know what? Cousin Johnny, he don't wash his hand either.
Mm.
And just sneeze and he wipe his hand with his nose with his hand.
Just nasty.
And you come here, come give me a hug. I ain't seen
Mm-hmm.
you in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And just spread, and they feel like that. I don't wear no mask. I don't need no mask. What do I need a mask for?
Exactly. Exactly. I'm trying to figure out. I think I got this thing together. And we got a few people that's
All
trying to
right.
call. We got a few people that's trying to call in. Hold on 1 second, callers. We're trying to get you in here, but we're having an issue with the phone line. So let me see. I'm trying to see. Can I get a brand new number here? Connect. Let me see. Let me see. I need to write this down. 508 924 3521. Let me see.
Mhm.
Yeah, folks don't like to wash their hands though, Tucson. Folks don't like to wash
No,
their. Yeah, they don't like it.
no.
Mhm. I'm gonna do this. Huh?
Go ahead. No, I was just saying, and these, we sitting there, the rest of us, and you can't eat and wear no mask.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You got to take the mask off to eat.
Look here, and see, and that's the thing right there. I was saying about when we took the trip, man, to Hawaii. There was a long flight. We flew from here to California, here to LA, then from LA to Honolulu, and that was a long flight. And only time they tell you, only time you can take your mask off is if you're eating. If you ain't eating, keep that mask. You keeping that mask on. That's just what it is.
Exactly.
You keeping that mask on. Let me see. So you. No, I don't see you. Where are you? Oh, there she go. No, I'm on a totally different screen. And got Tiffany Wills. She was sitting here waiting on us to come through. Good morning, young lady. She said, "You don't see me? Look. This girl here, man. Look here. She gonna ask instead of just saying, Raheem, I'm here. She gonna say, you don't see me. See what I'm saying? What kind of mess is that? What kind
I'm
of mess?
black. I'm black. That's how we do it. Don't do it cute.
No, see, I was on a totally different screen. I couldn't see you because I'm trying to get this new phone line up and running because we're having issues with that other one. Yeah, we're having some issues with that other one. But yeah, let me ask you this question, Tiffany. And we got Donald Toussaint on with us as well. Donald Toussaint is from Apollo, Mississippi. That's the name of the city he's from. It's hard to pronounce it, but you'll get it soon. But we got 3 different things going on right now. One is Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci has said that he want everybody in the medical field to take that vaccine. He said if you're gonna be in the medical field, because you're in the medical field, you should take that vaccine. There should be no excuse for you not taking that vaccine if you're in the medical field. There's a guy on a flight on Spirit Airline, 4-hour flight. He was in first class, and I guess he felt because he's in first class, he got certain privileges. He refused to put on a mask. And when they went on with the flight, went on where they was going, everybody felt so uncomfortable. As a matter of fact, people was talking about move me back to coach. I don't even want to sit here close to this guy in his cabin with him not having a mask on. So they moved him. They moved certain people, but he kept him where he was. He said he didn't want to put his mask on, just didn't want to do it. And now you got United Airline, which is another airline, one of the big ones. They're saying too that if our employees do not get the vaccine, they can no longer work here. Tiffany, what is on your mind? We got 3 different situations, 3 different scenarios. Speak on either one of them.
So, can you hear me? I want to
Yes.
make sure you can hear me.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I travel a lot because I transport vehicles all over the country. And the flight won't move if people don't wear their mask.
Mm-hmm.
There have been planes that have turned around to drop people off if they don't wear the mask. So I don't know about that particular scenario because up until yesterday, you have to wear your mask,
Mm-hmm.
period. But um, I don't remember the other scenario. Oh, the people in the medical field.
Yes.
A lot of people know what's going on in the medical field, and that's why they don't want to get the vaccine. And the thing is, our problem as people, we don't take the time to do the research. Now, I, like I said, I've been through all the states except for Maine, Hawaii, and Alaska in the last 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
From Fargo, South Dakota, down to Albuquerque, New Mexico. There's a lot of places in this country where they never shut down at all. They never had to stay at home. They never had to wear the mask. They just living their lives. A lot of times when they said on television, on the news, that there were hot spots and you got to be careful with these hot spots. I was in these hot spots, and people
Mm-hmm.
were in the streets living their lives. So we can't get, um, our biggest issue is ignorance because we don't take the time to see what's going on. And if
Mm-hmm.
you do your research, you know that in the 70s, when Nixon was in office, they had an agenda for population control. And they were going to use food, water, air, all this other stuff. If you watch the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, if you go to their website and you go back through the years, they talk about the pandemic that was coming. There's an author, I can't think of his name right now, but I bought the book. The book was written in 1982, copywritten in 1982, and it talks about this virus in Wuhan and all that in 1982. If you
Mm-hmm.
go to the CDC and you read the CDC from when it started, you'll see that they said doctors can say that it's COVID, even if it's not COVID. They'll tell you that the masks that we wear do not protect you. It should even say it on the packaging. The masks that we wear do not protect you from the virus.
Mm-hmm.
All this stuff. And then how do you trust? I was in Minneapolis yesterday in the airport, and they have stations where you can get the vaccine there. One, what person do you know? If I get anything, I'm going to my doctor. Period. I'm not gonna go sit with somebody that's just in a random spot to get this virus. The fact that they want so many people to get this shot when they don't even do it this hard for the flu, that should tell you something. Something's
Mm-hmm.
not right. And then with us, we're not in shape spiritually, mentally, physically. We know we don't trust these people. They've been treating us like crap since we've been on this soil. Yet every time they open their mouth, you want to do whatever it is they tell you because mentally you're still a slave. I
Mm-hmm.
done been all over this country. Not one truck stop has shut down because of coronavirus. And then another thing, you guys going around putting on that hand sanitizer. Don't you know that that hand sanitizer is breaking down your skin, the barrier, the layers of your skin, making you more susceptible to getting germs? And then, to be honest, we're all supposed to get germs. We're all supposed to be around germs. That's why we have an immune system to protect us from germs. Everybody's not going to make it, but the majority of us will because we're supposed to be around other people. We're supposed to be around other people's germs, and we're supposed to let our bodies fight off these different antibodies. And we're not doing it when we're in the house for months and months and months at a time. We're making ourselves weaker.
Mm-hmm.
And our ignorance is our biggest killer. And one more thing, and then I'll be quiet. How are you worried about COVID and you are obese? you got hypertension, you got diabetes, you got all these ailments and stuff like that. You're not taking care of yourself, me included. You know, you're not taking care of yourself, but you're worrying about COVID. Of course, you're not going to be able to fight COVID if you got underlying conditions that you're not even taking care of. But the biggest killer of all is fear. Fear will kill you better than anything else. I know people, I've been related to people who had cancer, didn't know they had cancer, and then as soon as they found out they had cancer, they withered away within months. Why? Because of the fear. And then I also know other people that found out they had cancer, but because of their positive mindset and they knew that they were going to get through it, they were able to survive it. I know people with terminal cancer still alive after a decade of their diagnosis. So you listen to this Caucasian man, Fauci, and if you watch the news or you watch,
you are the only
they were
participant in the conference.
Okay, what I'm doing, I'm actually opening up the new phone number, phone line. So you're gonna hear that music for a while. Tucson, dial this number here, Tucson. Dial 508-924-3521. Dial 508-924-3521. Dial that number, Tucson. Did you get it? This is the new line I told y'all I'm using, and they got that beautiful music that they play until another call come in. Isn't it just beautiful?
Funeral music.
Tucson, dial 508-924-3521. Okay, what I might end up having to do is call in, just stop that music,
please.
But yeah, Tucson, did you get the number? Let me text it to him.
Not yet.
Okay, now 508-924-3521. Soon as you dial it, Tucson, we'll lose that beautiful music we have.
Give me the number, again.
508-924-3521. But that music killing me, man. I'm watching Tiffany over there. She's shaking her head. I don't know what she's shaking her head. She started dancing at first.
Yes, I done died 3 times.
Donna ready to call in. I'm waiting on him right now. He just hung up that line, so I think he's ready to call in. And as soon as he does, we'll get all the other people on the same line right here, which would be much better. What do you think, Tiffany, while the music is playing? And I wish I could turn it down, but I can't. While the music is playing, what do you think about the guy on the airline? The guy that's on the airline that refused to wear the mask. And now he's banned from Spirit Airline until the mask regulation is lifted.
He shouldn't have been riding Spirit Airlines anyway. That's so ghetto. I can't stand Spirit Airlines. But I don't think that he should be banned because, to be honest with you, none of the masks that people wear protect you from the coronavirus. And you put your mask down when you eat and drink and all that other stuff anyway. Go ahead, leave that man alone.
But still in all, though, I understand what you're saying. But still in all, you still gotta take into account that these people are affected. They're still affected. And it can't be. Go ahead.
But okay, but look at the repercussions now, because now the people at Spirit and United, they're not coming to work. All last week, flights were canceled. A lot of flights were canceled last week because people are not coming to work. So you wanna make people get vaccinated and all this other stuff. It's gonna hurt more than it's gonna help.
Tucson, are you with us? Tucson, are you with us?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. Now I'm going to have to send this number out to everybody to call in because That other little situation just was not working. And now what we could do here now, we could have several people in, we'll be able to mute them and do all the things we want to do. So that's a good thing. Hold on, I want to go back to Tiffany because she had a thought. Go ahead, finish your thoughts, sis.
Oh, I was just saying, can you see me? Because
Yes.
it looks like I'm frozen. Okay, but okay. Um, I'm just saying those masks, they don't protect you from COVID, one. And if it's that serious, then you wouldn't be able to pull your mask down to eat, drink, or nothing. You would just have to keep the mask on. And, people are not coming to work. And the last couple of weeks, there's been a shortage in flights because they've been canceled and stuff. It's been in the news because people just not coming to work. So it's going to affect all of us in some form or fashion because, you're always going to have that debate to vaccinate or not to vaccinate. And I just think, especially with our history, we need to do more research before we stick ourselves or whatever, because you can't trust the people that oppress you on a daily basis.
Wow, that's good. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, grand rising to y'all, man. How you doing?
Hey, doing good. Were you listening earlier about what the three situations and scenarios that we're speaking of?
I heard one about the American Airlines situation.
Well, United Airlines, they actually saying that everybody have to vaccinate their people. If they don't get vaccinated, then they can no longer work for United. You got Dr. Fauci, or whatever his name is. He's saying that everybody in the medical field, if you're gonna be in the medical field, you should have to get that you should be required to get that vaccination, or you should not be able to work. And there was a guy on Spirit Airlines first class that refused to wear a mask. They got 4-hour flight. When they got where they was going, they took him where they took him and put him on the ban list. He can no longer fly Spirit until that mask regulation is lifted. What did you say to that? There's three different scenarios, brother. What's on your heart?
Well, that's what happens when you're dependent on your job. The job got the right to do that. The employer has a right to do that. Now, what you gonna do? Ain't nothing I can say about that. That's up to the person. Now, depending on what their standards are, what they believe, what they value the most, they may stand on their rights and say, man, screw this job. But if they value that little piece of paper and that 850 credit score, they're going to run to that shot. Give it to me. I don't want to miss my money. And that's what we've been programmed to do. We are so out of order that we are waiting on the government to help us that values the economy over the preservation of life. They value that little paper, that little piece of paper, and those digits that tell you what your credit score is, and then the movement of that money over protecting the lives of innocent, vulnerable people. The best effect that we had was the shutdown. They're ignoring that now. They are ignoring the most effective means of fighting COVID. They're avoiding that. Now, I ain't gonna tell nobody not to wear no mask. When it comes to Spirit Airlines and what happened with that guy, the employer thing, the employer's got a right to tell you to take that shot. Like I said, the choice is yours. But when it comes to that person on that airline, I had the same thing happen last week when I was coming back from Florida. Old privileged pink man, after a year and a half, decides he wants to get defiant. After a year and a half, you've been knowing the whole time that if you get on this airplane, you got to wear a mask. If you walk through that airport, you got to wear a mask. And you saw a few people try to be defiant, but they got corrected and they dealt with it. This guy, a grown man, like I said, privileged, pulled his mask down 4 different times and looked around at everybody like, why is she bothering me? Like this was something new. You know me. I said something. Everybody else looking at him like he crazy. I said, man, it's too late for that. We've been going through this for a year and a half. This flight ain't for 45 minutes, man. Pull your mask up and quit being privileged. You see, the thing is we got to make an effort somewhere. I heard the sister say a second ago, man, the mask don't help. Well, you got to try something. I walk every day to try to get this sun and vitamin D. I know there are some nasty people out here that will spread germs before this coronavirus even kicked in. Now we're in a situation, people dying left and right. I know somebody lost their mother and their brother. They were there yesterday. So you got to make some kind of effort. You just can't say, well, you know what? Live your life and do what you want to do. And then you start thinking better when you start losing family members or friends. You have to make some kind of effort. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to at least use some kind of logic. What does it hurt for me to wear a mask? I mean, if I was working in dangerous chemicals, working in an environment where I could be poisoned, I wouldn't mind wearing that mask to make that green dollar. So now I need to wear a mask just to survive. I mean, like I said, you think about people that's doing painting, people that's working around chemicals. They wear masks all day long, no problem. Why? Because the mask protects them, right? So now all of a sudden, when your life depends on it, I don't want to wear no mask. I want to do what I want to do. But what is it going to hurt? Taking the vaccine, I agree with her on that. I'm so not, I'm going to say I don't have faith in that vaccine. I'm suspicious of it. But some of the more simple things that we can use to try to play our part to stop the prevention, it would be better for us to go ahead and promote that, because we got to do something. I mean, it ain't like this. It ain't real. It's real. So
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? We could understand it as real, but then never try to kind of come up with a way to find a way to help people prevent getting it. We could tell them all day long what doesn't work, but at the same time, let's start telling them what may work. Let's talk more about the elderberry. You know, let's talk about magnesium, turmeric. Let's talk about walking and exercising, getting back in order, you know, valuing the right thing. Let's talk about having the choice to shut ourselves down and quarantine ourselves. Just because everybody else want to go to the malls and to the concerts and to Walmart doesn't mean you have to. Even if you don't want to wear a mask, just shut yourself down, because we do have enough logic to see that this thing is real.
Exactly. And people are asking for the new number. The new number is 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. One more time, 508-924-3521. I think we have another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on, Ryan? It's Kurt, man.
Kurt, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm all right, man. Finished shooting. Just shot my just did a job on Sunday for a Tubi show, man. Movie called Serial. But other than that, man, I'm holding it down.
Good deal,
there, bro.
Good deal.
Getting ready for the stable read August 22nd. The flyer will be coming to you soon. Because it's a competition and it's all based on, you know, how many people is tuning in or whatever.
Okay.
But what's going on? What's up, Rick? What's going on?
We talking this morning about 3 different scenarios. Now somebody asked for the number. Let me get the number one more time. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. We're talking about 3 different scenarios. One, Dr. Fauci, you know, I always have a hard time getting his name right. He's saying that anybody in the medical field should have to take that vaccine, because if they're in the medical field, it should be a requirement. That's one. 2, the gentleman on Spirit Airline, he was on a 4-hour flight. He decided that he did not want to, and he refused to put on his mask. Got to where they was going, and they put him on a little, you cannot fly list. They banned him until the mask regulation is lifted, I guess. And 3, what was that third one? I'm trying to remember that third one. Or that third one on Tiffany?
United.
I'm old. My memory ain't worth nothing.
United Airline. Yeah, United. Appreciate it, Donna. United Airline was the third one, where they're saying that if you're going to work for United Airline, if you're going to be an employee of United Airline, you have to get that vaccine. Otherwise, you can no longer work here. Now, there's 3 different scenarios, Kurt. What's on your heart?
Man, you know, the level of disinformation overall, the American government, Republican, Democrat, Independent, Libertarian, I don't care what party you represent, it's a disgrace. And everything that they supposedly have stood for is a disgrace.
This is murder, man. Happening right in front of our face on a I can't remember what show it was, but I would say on a multitudinous level. It's a disgrace, man. It's just murder. You got, I need somebody to explain to me how we supposed to hold a moral compass and believe in these people. I gotta say it, bro. Believe in these people, and they standing in front of they standing in frame, in front of the world, and spreading this disinformation and telling folks that they don't need to get vaccinated and da. Speaking against the vaccinations, and I mean, if you wasn't a learned person, you would buy the foolishness they selling, right? But the whole while, they just left them getting stuck in the arm. I don't understand it. I don't understand why the American people. Well, I do understand why.
I'm trying to get some clarity. I'm trying to get some clarity, Kurt. Are you for or against that vaccine?
I'm for the vaccine.
Okay.
Just like I was for the malaria vaccine. The malaria vaccine helped me make it through Haiti. I'm for the polio vaccine.
So basically, Kurt, listen to me. Kurt, basically what I'm hearing you say is everybody from where you're saying and your expertise and where you are, and this is your own personal opinion, you can have yours. Everybody should get that vaccine.
What I'm saying is, in my personal opinion, if you're trying to preserve life, if you have a care and or concern about life outside of your own, do the right thing and go and get vaccinated, man. Do the right thing and go and get vaccinated, because nobody can actually tell me what is so bad about the vaccine. You want to say somebody died after they got vaccinated. Well, my question behind that is, well, how many people died after they got vaccinated compared to the number of people who have been vaccinated?
Well, Kurt, I don't think that's one argument that people have, but there's other arguments that people have, man. There's and a lot of people, and I know you've heard this many times over. A lot of people are looking at the history of this country and how it has represented itself to a certain group of people, and I don't have to tell you who that group of people is. And they're saying they don't trust this whole situation. They don't trust this whole vaccine, and not only that, is not regulated by the FDA, and because of the fact, still today it's not regulated, because they were talking about that on the radio this morning. Listen to the Black Eagle. I listened to him sometime on the way here, and he was saying that it is still not regulated. Has somebody on there talking about the fact that it's still not regulated. Now, some people will want you to believe that it is, but it's not.
No, freeze. Let's not be proponents of disinformation. Let's not be proponents of disinformation.
So basically, it is different information. You telling me? Are you telling me that it is approved by the FDA? Is that what you're saying?
Here's how the Regulation Commission operates. All right. In order for you to mandate a vaccine to be given to the masses, it has to be 100% approved.
But it's not. In order for you to
Kurt,
mandate, hold on, Raheem, because that's a part of the disinformation. See, the plug is I'll grab a soundbite and I'll say, well, it's not approved by the FDA.
Kurt, I listened to the whole conversation this morning. This man was from listen. Hold on, Kurt, hold on, brother. Hold on. My thing is this right here. I'm driving in here this morning and I'm listening to the Black Eagle on Urban View, whatever the station is that he's on XM Radio, and he had a guest on there that actually this is his area of expertise. He was saying that it is not regulated. I mean, we could dance around this all we want to, but I'm coming to you different. I say he's saying he was saying that it is not, this particular part is not regulated by the FDA, not yet, and that's why, because he was talking about the United and stuff like that, people having to make a choice whether they're going to go to work or and not take the whatever they was going to do. He was talking about that. He said that should be unconstitutional because it's not regulated by the FDA, and so you cannot make a person take something that is not regulated. Now, all the other stuff that you said, maybe it is regulated, but he was saying, and it's not me talking, I'm saying his words. He was saying that because of the fact that it's not regulated.
Hold on, you talking like I'm disagreeing with you. I didn't disagree with you.
Okay, go ahead.
I did not disagree with you. Listen to what I'm saying, Raheem. What I'm saying is, in order for any vaccine to be mandated, that everybody take it. For example, the polio, the malaria, the one that start with a T, all of those vaccines, in order for them to be mandated, for the masses to take them, right? They must be 100% approved.
Okay, wrap it up,
the FDA.
Okay, hold on, hold your hurry. I got some other people, man. I gotta go to the other people. Hurry up, brother.
Okay, so the vaccine that we have now is not 100% approved by the FDA. The reason being is because the vaccine has not been out long enough to receive 100% approval. The vaccine has been approved by the FDA at about 75 to 85%. But see, what's happening is people is grabbing sound bites. They're looking at an investigation with a biased opinion, so they're plucking out certain things. It's the same playbook that they've been running for years. They looking at certain parts of the investigation, saying, "Oh, you see, that's why this is not approved." Regulated. If you want to talk regulation, let's forget the vaccine. Let's forget the vaccine. We can talk regulation about a whole bunch of other stuff that ain't done. The banking system is not properly regulated.
Wow. We
jump. Don't get things misconstrued. And I understand the history for real. If anyone understands the history of vaccines in American history, it's me. I understand the history. That's why I started out by saying this is a travesty, because we should not have this level of distrust for our government.
Okay, hold on right there. Let me pull some more people in. Don't go nowhere, brother. I'm definitely coming back to you. Tiffany, you have something on your heart, and it's saying somebody is saying this asking for an access code. Hey, Tucson, and Don and Kurt, when y'all called in, did they ask y'all for an access code?
No, it just asked me to say my name.
Yeah. There's no access code. And I purchased the one that did not have to have the access code because I didn't want people to have to put all those numbers in. So give us a call. Call in at that number. There's no access code. Just call in and say your name, and it'll put you right on in. Tiffany, you wanted to say something?
You know, it takes years, about a decade, for a vaccine to really go through the process. And these vaccines were fast tracked. And I'm just going to speak on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine for itself. I wouldn't trust that as far as I can throw a basketball, because Johnson & Johnson is in litigation with people right now, paid hundreds of millions of dollars to Black people because they targeted Black people with their baby powder, and people getting ovarian cancers and all that. And they have proof that they were targeting Black people when they knew that it caused cancer. So you can miss me with that one. And if you look at the numbers and do the math, the total of people in this country compared to the people that have died is very minute when it comes to percentages. But because this stuff is going on in our communities, and because we're seeing people that we know dying and stuff like that, and again, all the doctor has to say is that it was COVID and it's COVID, but that doesn't mean that COVID actually killed them. It's just like AIDS. People have AIDS. They don't die from AIDS. They die from complications from AIDS. And we just have to really educate ourselves, and we don't do it. And I don't know how anybody Black can trust anybody in this country when they've done and continue to do, we're still dying in the streets like rabid dogs. Why would you believe anything that these people tell us? And why would you think that they're out here to take care of us when they're killing us every freaking day? And one more thing, and then I'll be quiet. I spent the whole summer working in New York City in 2019. And around 3 o'clock in the morning, there's these trucks that go up and down spraying. And my boss's sister was outside and they told her, you go in the house, you close your windows, you close your doors, and you seal them as much as you can and don't breathe this stuff in. So they put stuff in the air. They do all kinds of stuff and they target certain people. Like I said, there's places in this country that never shut down. Never shut down. I travel all over the country. Not one truck stop ever shut down because of COVID. And there were people wearing masks, people not wearing masks, all of that. So before you can speak on us as a totality, you have to have been somewhere to know for certain. And this government ain't nothing when it comes to Black people. So I'm just saying.
Let me go to Rico. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
I agree with everything she's saying. But you know, I can still modify it a little bit. You know, true enough, they could put COVID on anything, but there's never been a time in our existence that we've seen people losing 5 and 6 family members in less than a month span. I mean, and it's not just one family. You know, it's been in my lifetime, I've seen 1, maybe 2 times that maybe a family lost 3 siblings in the same week. Freaky stuff. But since this virus kicked in, man, it's abundant. You know, there's a lot of people losing numerous family members. You know what I'm saying? I got some cousins in Florida I didn't get to visit because they're going through it now, suffering from it, and they work in the medical field. A couple of them work in the medical field. So, you know, like I said, it's real. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, and every argument she made is true. But then even after you hear that argument, you say, well, okay, well, what are we going to do still? What are we going to do? I mean, because I don't trust Pfizer. You know what I'm saying? I know the part that Pfizer played in owning the rights to all the research for feminine gynecology and withholding evidence from the beast that came up with that technology. I know about Johnson & Johnson in that situation. If I ain't mistaken, I think the CEO of Pfizer got kicked off a plane or couldn't travel because he hadn't taken his vaccination. Ain't that something? He is the CEO of the company that provides a vaccination, and they're encouraging people to take it, and he ain't even taking it. But I don't expect that none of our 1% is taking it anyway. I haven't even heard of any one of them even dying. None of that real true 1%. But you know what? We still got to make an effort. Either or, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Now, it's understandable that the truck stops didn't never shut down because we still had essentials. People still had to put food in the grocery stores. They had to put food in Walmart. They had to still load up and stock up shelves with whatever essentials that we needed. We got to remember when they did shut down, they said we're shutting down everything except. And that except was for essential things. And, you know, like I said, I'm going to go back to that again. To me, I'm suspicious on both sides because if that was really a problem, a pandemic, or, you know, I ain't gonna say if there is, with it being this problem, to me, the sister said it a second ago, we got a lot of ignorant people. We got a lot of ignorant thinking people that doesn't do any research. They just here to indulge. They just here to live day by day and live their best lives and say they don't care if they're hurting other people, hurting themselves. You know, so many people that have spoken against the vaccination and the mask have died. They families looking stupid. So, I mean, you know, I look at that situation and I realize that we got to make the best decision for ourselves. We understand, I said it earlier, we understand that the quarantine worked. We understand that the shutdown was the most effective thing. Now we got to quit waiting on these people to do it for us because they're going to let this economy keep going. And like I said, it was understandable that they had the truck stops, you know, still rolling. It was understandable that the trains were still operating because those are things that we need for our survival. People aren't growing their own food anymore like they did in the past. But I still believe now everything else will be shut down. Going to get your nails done, all that stuff. I mean, you know, yeah, we got to take our own precautions though. We got to look out for ourselves right now.
Good deal. Good deal. We got a couple of people on the call line. Tiffany, I see you. We're gonna come to you just 1 second. And we got a few people on the phone. I want to touch them as well. I think we have Cassandra. Cassandra, you with us?
Yes, I am.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Well,
good deal. Good deal. And before you get into what we talk about this morning, I want to say congratulations. I want to say congratulations to you. I don't know if you want to be safe or what, but you know what I'm talking about. Congratulations, sis. That's awesome. That's awesome. Now I'm gonna leave it up to you whether you want to say something about it or not. But I just wanted to say congratulations. What's on your heart?
Okay, thank you. You know, I don't know. I hear people saying about the mask. You don't want to do the mask. You don't want to do the vaccine. This thing is killing people. I don't care what anybody says. If you don't have anybody in your circle or around you that have died or been affected by COVID, then I guess you can say it ain't real. It ain't real for you. But if you've had the multiple people around me that I have contacting me, talking about mama in the hospital, daddy died, sisters died, 3 men infected. People are being infected by a virus. It's real. And it's not just here in the United States, and it's not just Black people. Why we got to focus in like it's just us dying? There are white people, there are Haitian people, there are Easterners in London and all over the world. People are dying from COVID over the world. So then if you feel like it's just focused on Black people, then why are people dying all over the world? I have a friend in Germany that they have had lots of people dying. White people. So I just want to, can we just stop acting, to me, it's crazy that you just focus on, there are white people in the United States dying, there are white people in Canada dying, there are white people, but we keep focusing on, oh, you know what they did to Black people. We know that things happened back then. But if you say, do your research, why aren't y'all doing your research? Why aren't you doing your research to see that the vaccine is necessary? We've always had vaccines pretty much since the world has become industrialized. We've always fought diseases. Then that means stop fighting all diseases, because they probably trying to kill us with those too. Don't fight cancer. Don't fight. I just feel like it's a target of us because of ignorance, and we are falling for it, not even willing to wear a damn mask. And yes, I said it. Not even willing to wear a mask. What does a mask take from you when it can protect somebody else's life? I mean, okay, keep it. Carry on.
Keep it PG for me. Keep it PG for me, boy. Look here. Hey,
that was a PG version.
Oh.
That was a PG version. We gotta stop it. People are dying, and we can do something. If a mask will help, and it does help. It does help. Your airborne particles going in the air, it does help.
Wow. Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother? Come on now. Come on now.
Simple question.
Yes, sir.
This is a simple question. Are people dying?
Yes.
Like never before. Like we've never seen. I've never seen it. That's true, right?
People are dying. But see, and let me throw this out there, because I always like to say this as well. They're saying that people are dying, and yes, to answer your question, absolutely, people are dying at a terrible rate. But my thing is, COVID is still number 3 on the death list. You got a heart disease. I think it's cancer and heart disease are number 1 and number 2. Okay. And so my thing is, they're doing this a great push to make sure everybody gets this vaccine. But still, people are still dying more than COVID from cancer every day. Okay. Every day.
But they're dying from COVID, I think.
They're dying from COVID, from cancer, from heart disease. That, I mean, if you're gonna tell me you love me, If you're gonna tell me you love me, don't say, okay, I'm not gonna stab you. I'm just gonna shoot you. Both cases, I'm gonna die. So let's deal with everything that's killing the people and deal with it accordingly. I think that's just me.
Yeah. But you see what I'm saying, and because we're beating a dead horse, and I don't waste my time because I don't have time to waste. Let me tell you what I've done for me and those that I care about. I wear my mask. I don't go in crowds. I don't go this and that and the other. And the only reason why I do what I do is because I think about more than me. It's not about me.
Amen.
I'm not scared of anything. Nothing. I'm scared of snakes now. I'm scared of snakes.
Come on now.
Other than snakes, I'm not worrying about what the government is trying to plot and plan. I'm not studying none of that.
Amen.
I got elderly people in my family. I got young folks. I got grandchildren. I got people that I go around every day. The only reason why I do what I do is because of them, not me. I look out for me. But now I had to make a choice in looking out for more than me. Now, am I worried about whether there's something in the vaccine or coronavirus itself? No, I ain't studying that. Because I just keep doing what I've been doing all along. But see, why I say we beating a dead horse is because I know no matter how much we talk about this, there are some people feel strongly about how they feel. They feel like it's a hoax. They feel like something's in the vaccines. Do I sound sick? Do I sound sick?
No, right now you don't.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm just saying. I ain't breaking out. My leg ain't fell off yet.
You still got tomorrow now.
It don't make no difference. It don't make no difference to me. The only reason why I did is because I care more about than just me. I don't worry about the government. I don't worry about what they're trying to do. I don't depend on them. I don't need their money. I don't need none of that. Okay. I just think about more than myself. These false notions that people have, I don't care what you do. You don't have to take it. That's fine. But I'll tell you what.
Now, Don, let me ask you this question. You say that false notion.
Yes.
That's pretty strong there, brother.
Yeah, it is. You know why I say false notion? Because before the week's out, every one of us gonna go to a funeral.
Okay.
Every one of us.
Okay. Good day. Let me keep this thing going. I want to keep.
So let's keep going to funerals.
Let me keep this thing going.
That's how I look at it.
Let me go to Curtis. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother?
You know what could bother me is this notion that we're being poisoned. All the while, we worried about one poison over there, but we ain't worried about the other poison over here. We ain't worried about all that smoke that's flying in from California. We ain't worried about the fact that California, if you just look at the landmass, right? They're saying that fire has burned the same size of two cities, New York, like take New York and double it. And that fire done burned that much. We're not worrying about all of the toxicities that just flew completely across the country that we getting right here in Baltimore, in Georgia, in North Carolina, South Carolina. We ain't worrying about none of that. We ain't worrying about that poison. But the poison with this vaccine is what we worried about, while all at the same time, the people who telling us it's poison are the first ones in line to get the vaccine. So if I think logically, I'm saying, well, if you telling me that the vaccine is poison, but yet you standing in line to get it, is it a situation of maybe you want me not to take it? See, I hear the conspiracy theories about population control and this, that, and the third. Well, what if somebody sitting at the table was smart enough, and while we playing checkers, they playing chess? So they saying, look, America already has a history of misleading people with vaccines and not giving antidotes and all that. So America already got the history. So we'll use America, right? Because we know a large percentage of their people are going to be against the vaccine. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to throw this vaccine out there.
But see that, you start out talking about conspiracy theory, but that can fall right into what the conspiracy theory is. That can fall right into it.
Right? How you gonna shoot down my opinion?
I'm not. I'm
even get it out.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
Because what you're doing is you cut me off before I finish.
Okay.
Here's what I really think. What I really think is I think that the nation, we finding out exactly who's scared of needles. That's what I really think. Getting down to the get down, I think folks just scared of needles, but they not. But we in a nation where we can't admit our fears. So don't nobody want to take it because, oh, it's a needle. I bet you if it was an oral where you could swallow something, a pill or something like that, folks would be lined up to take it. You see what I'm saying? But I'm going to go back to the conspiracy theories because I hear the other side of conspiracy theories and some of them sound right. But I'm just saying, what if the conspiracy is larger than what these people are saying? What if the conspiracy is the other way? What if the intention is to play on the fact of your fear and play on the fact of your rights, right? And if that is the case, what if there was a push to say, look, we know that a third of the American population is not going to take this vaccine, although we know that this vaccine will save lives.
Okay. Let me.
I'm saying, what if that's the case? And if that's the case, are we playing checkers or are we playing chess?
Wow.
And just to throw something out there in the end, people need to stop saying that the vaccine, right, is supposed to prevent you from getting COVID. That's not what the vaccine is for. The vaccine is to prevent you from death of COVID.
Okay.
It's wording, man. It's wording.
Okay, good deal. Gotta keep this thing, and we I'm gonna implement something, man. We're gonna keep everybody coming. We're gonna keep them around. Start keeping them around 3 minutes if we can, so we can keep it moving and keep it consistently going. So we're gonna start implementing that as soon as tomorrow. Keep everybody's coming around 3 minutes. Rico, what's on your heart? Tiffany, coming to you next.
From what I'm understanding, the way the arguments are coming out to me is you find more people being extremely passionate about trying to prove or justify their position. I'm looking at both positions. I can see where conspiracy can be thought out on both ends. Both sides can use conspiracy theories. I agree with everybody's point. And I look at what Donald said, and I look at it from that point of view. You know what I'm saying? And what Cassandra said. At least make some kind of effort. We could come up with all of these different defenses of why we shouldn't wear a mask, why we shouldn't take the vaccine. Ain't that many people dying. We could come up with all these different things. But then Donald and Cassandra said the biggest, most important thing. Don't just do it for you. Do it for those around you. It could be a conspiracy. May not be a conspiracy. It could be a possibility that you are a carrier and spreading it even though you're not the one getting sick from it. I mean, how devastating would it be for you to be the person that's going all against all this stuff and then you get it and pass it to your mama, your child, and they die? Then, see, it's a lot of people changing the stories. A lot of people, they're on one side and one side only when they're really not just looking at it down the middle. I'm looking at it down the middle. Yeah, I don't trust the vaccine, but at the same time, I gotta do something. I don't want to be the one responsible for telling somebody not to take a vaccine, not to not wear a mask, and then all of a sudden they wind up dead. Listening to me and my personal opinion. I don't want to tell somebody to go take the vaccine and they wind up dead. Then I got to sleep at night knowing they took my advice. So we got to think about on this panel what we're saying. Yeah, we could be for or we could be against taking the vaccine, wearing a mask or whatever. But still the emphasis needs to be made that this thing is real and you got to at least do something. Now, if you're going to tell everybody what they shouldn't be doing, see, I was with somebody yesterday and they was mad because somebody called them stupid. She works in the medical field. Somebody told me I was stupid for taking the vaccine. Well, it ain't right to call people stupid. She got in her emotions. I wouldn't have cared. But that goes to show you right there how passionate people are being just to justify whether or not they took it. Well, they might be scared of needles. So if they scared of needles, but they don't want to admit that, they're going to come up with every excuse in the world to bash that vaccine, to justify being a chicken. And see, really and truly, there's a lot of personal opinions going on, and they're being persuaded by those emotions. The people are not wanting to use the correct facts. Me personally, I'm looking at all the facts. I'm hearing discrepancies on both sides. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the best effort that I can to do the best that I can to make sure I don't be a part of the problem.
Good deal. Good deal. Tiffany, what's on your heart, sis? Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Mute it. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Oh Lord, she over there fighting the mute button. Lord, I'm gonna come back to you, sis. When you, I'll be able to tell when you find that mute button. I'll come back to you. Cassandra, what's on your heart? While Tiffany get her mic together.
You know, I'm a person. I don't want anybody to believe or do something just because it's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I just want us to be reasonable when people are just because you haven't had people dying around you. And yeah, we can say, well, they're dying from something. They ain't dying from COVID. They die from complications. What the hell? They dying. They dying. That's the bottom line is multiple people are dying. You have families where they have lost 5, 6, 7 people in one family. So to me, it does not matter. It does not matter what the complication was that they died from. It is a virus that is spread that has complications that can kill you. And for something as simple as wearing a mask, we're having these conversations that, oh no, I ain't taking the vaccine and I ain't wearing no mask and that don't do no good. And I mean, come on, just rational, just rationally. If there is any chance that a mask helps, could you wear a mask, please? Because I'm gonna tell you, if you come in my environment, you're gonna wear a mask or you're gonna get out.
Exactly.
That's bottom
exactly.
point. You don't have to be around me. I don't have to be around you. But if you come around me, you want to talk, you want to fellowship, you're gonna wear a mask or there is no conversation. Period.
And see, and that's me too, man. I put on a mask everywhere I go. People say sometimes I'll be the only one in the building with a mask on.
Me too.
I'll be the only one. People walking by me, they ain't got no mask on, but I got mine on. And they look at me a little funny because I got my mask on. Okay, that's fine. You know, do what you do, but I'm gonna wear my mask. I take it off when I get in my car. Now I don't wear it when I'm in the car by myself.
Yeah.
I take it off.
Me either.
And when I get where I'm going, I grab my mask, put it on, get out the car, go on, do what I'm gonna do, get back, take it back off when I get in the car. That's just what it is. Tiffany, I see. I think we have another phone call or two.
This is the thing. I'm sorry. This is my last thing. Simple. And what's going to happen? Everybody going to be complaining that they're going to shut stuff down when the country is red from coast to coast now almost. And so now we're going to go into a shutdown. Everybody's going to be upset. And why are we in a shutdown? Because people are dying. I know you don't care that people are dying, but people are dying. And we have to do something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me go to Tiffany. Tiffany, what's on your heart, sis?
Who doesn't care about people dying? Everybody cares about people dying, but at the end of the day, people are going to die.
Look,
And
everybody
everybody said,
everyone does not care
okay,
about you guys.
I didn't
Hold
interrupt
on,
you
hold
when
on,
you
hold
were
on.
talking. I didn't interrupt you when you were talking.
Tiffany, calm down. Okay, hold on. Both of y'all calm down. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. We're not gonna argue with each other. We're gonna have a conversation. Tiffany, turn your mic down. I can hear my background coming through. Turn your volume down just a little bit. I can hear it coming through. Okay. Now let's have a conversation. Tiffany, what's on your heart?
I'm wearing a mask right now.
Okay. Okay. Good deal. We're gonna keep it moving. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh, was she finished?
Yeah. She put a mask back on.
Well, yeah, I mean, it goes back to what Cassandra was saying, and she just saying it with a lot more passion. You got to be considerate of other people. While we are talking about conspiracies or possibilities, what is the probability that you may be the one passing it along? And I'm not speaking of anybody personally. I'm speaking of me. This is the thing that I ask myself. Or what is the possibility that the person I just walked past in Walmart isn't filled with that mess, along with other germs? You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, man. Look, people been nasty hygiene-wise before this. They've been filthy human beings. And so now, many of the ways that they want us to help sort of prevent this is to help improve our hygiene, to do better. So, you know, you got to make that effort. You got to be considerate. Why? Because is a possibility that things you're doing may hurt or impact somebody else. That's being considerate of other human life. And understanding your vulnerability, understanding that we aren't perfect. It is a possibility that we could be passing it along, or that we could help make somebody else sick. But I think about the fact that, okay, true enough, people might not be dying from COVID, and the vaccine is not supposed to prevent you from getting COVID, but at the same time, it's supposed to prevent you from dying of COVID-related deaths. See that? I mean, she was telling the truth. A lot of times these people dying, they dying from all these different conditions, but they are COVID-related. So COVID-related means that they're trying to prevent that too. Yeah, people gonna die. But see, when they're dying at rates that are abnormal, you know that something has to be done. You're supposed to just sit back and say, oh, well, let's just keep living our best lives, and we're going to watch people die at a higher rate than we ever witnessed in our lifetime. But that's ignorance. Now, we won't speak on ignorance. That's ignorant to sit back and watch it happen and then not make an effort to stop it when you can. God made us better than that. The universe made us better than that. That's the reason why we have evolved into the powerful creatures that we are. So we can be better at progressing and sustaining life and curing illnesses and doing the right things, using our logic. I love what Cassandra said. We got to use some logic and some reason.
That's good. That's good. Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother? This thing, we ain't, hey, look here, it's 9 o'clock. We ain't got to the topic of the day yet. But Toussaint, what's on your heart?
You ain't gonna get to no. What is that?
Everybody mute your line. We got some background noise coming from the line. Somebody's line. Mute your line for me.
Yeah, we ain't gonna get to the topic.
I don't think so.
We can. I mean, because let me say it. We can move on, because as strong as one feels passionate about not taking the vaccine, come along with finding another person as just as passionate about why they should. One or the other. I don't know if I said that right or not. But I can say, okay, the reason why I personally I wasn't gonna tell nobody. I don't tell nobody what I do. But since I took the vaccine because I had elderly people in my family and friends and people that I worked with. I wasn't gonna say a word. The reason why I did it was, first of all, I don't fear anything. I'm not worried about whether something's in it. If they wanted to get me, they'll come to my house and get me. You think they can put it in an aspirin? They don't need something else to destroy you. They don't need that. So the reason why I did it is because I would like to go to a family gathering. I would like to be able to fellowship. I like to, go out and hang out with, or maybe I want to go to the ball game or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of going to funerals because funerals, some kind of way, it's related to this virus. And the hospitals are filling up again because we have dropped our guard and we went right back to normal. As soon as we went right back to normal, the numbers start going back up again. So a suggestion was made that they came up with this virus, the vaccine. And so I said, you know what? Let's see. I'm going to go. Now, I hadn't had no symptoms. Whether I can get it or not, I still can. Vaccines don't do anything about, it's not a cure. You can still catch polio, right? I don't know. When you go in the military, don't you take certain shots?
Yes.
They could have killed you then.
A list of them.
They could have killed you then. Yeah. You know what? We worry about that, but we don't worry about killing each other now in the same neighborhood. So
it's a lot.
Let's continue on. Yeah, it is a lot, but I think what I'm saying, I'm gonna shut up. I think let's just get used to what we're doing right now. Because what we're living in is the land of the dying.
Wow.
Matter of fact, I have a coworker. I got a phone call this morning. A coworker. They just retired about a month or so ago. You know what? Dead. You know why? COVID related.
Wow.
So, I'll wait for the next one. Might be me. Might be you.
Don't say it. Don't say that out loud.
Used to.
Look,
Let's do it.
Don't say that out loud.
I'm just saying. Well,
I got you.
I said leave it.
Good deal. Let's keep this thing.
What I'm saying is, it is what it is.
There you go. Tiffany, what's on your heart, sis? Unmute yourself. You still muted. There you go.
Okay. My position is wear a mask, protect yourself, whatever. But I also know what I see. I also know what I read. I go on all the sites. I go on the CDC site. I go on the government sites. I watch the CNNs. I watch all the news sites. I listen to everything. I read everything. Now, I also want to mention when we were in our homes, locked in, a lot of 5G legislation was passed and a lot of 5G towers were put up. And if you look at the radiation and the symptoms of radiation poisoning, it's a lot of the same symptoms that they have for COVID. And a lot of people are walking around with 5G phones. I do not. So, 5G radiation issues with people that have certain issues, ailments, that's real too. But I will also say that a lot of people have died, but guess what? A lot of people were going to die anyway, because people die every day. And that's just facts. And because people put the label COVID, that's all we think about whenever somebody dies now. Everybody is not dying of COVID. People are still dying from the flu. People are still dying from heart disease. People are still dying from cancers. But for some reason, we have this big fear as if COVID is the big deadly monster. And like Raheem said, it's number 3 on the death list. We had a pandemic in the 1800s where people were actually dying, dropping like flies for real in the streets. So I'm not negating anything, but we also have to be realistic and see 10 years from now, there's going to be a commercial on TV that says if you took XYZ and you died or you suffered from, call this attorney. because it all goes hand in hand. And you can see those commercials on anything that we've been given over the years. When I was pregnant with my daughter and I was suffering from depression, they tried to put me on Zoloft, and I didn't take it, thankfully, because now you see commercials. If you took Zoloft, you can get money because it affected people in a certain way. So let's not act like we don't know that the pharmaceutical companies, the lawyers, don't work hand in hand. And don't act like you don't know where we come from and what kind of world that we live in. And then in Africa, they weren't even really getting COVID until they went over there and started poking and prodding with these people. They had the lowest numbers in the whole world. We had the lowest numbers until they said somebody from a basketball team had it, and then all of a sudden we started getting it. So I'm just, I just don't go by what somebody else tells me. And then the Bible tells you to trust no man. So therefore, why would I put my trust in these people that are so corrupt and been corrupt for centuries on end? I trust God, and he protects me, and I don't walk in fear. I do what I'm asked. They tell you to wear a mask and stuff. I wear my mask and stuff like that. But the only person that can save me is God. And that's it. That's who I rock with. That's the one that gives me my armor. I'm not going to be arguing with people because people are afraid, because people have died. People gonna die. People always die. Babies die. Old people die. Young people die. That's part of life. It's the circle of life, and you can't be walking in fear because you're afraid that somebody's gonna pass. Okay. And I can honestly say that since this started, not one person in my family has died from COVID. Not nobody from my ex-husband's family have died from COVID. Nobody in my immediate circle of friends, none of their family members have died of COVID. So therefore, everybody's not dying. When it's your time, either God is the truth or he's not the truth, because people say that God knows your time of birth and he knows your time of death. So therefore, let God's will be done.
Good deal. Good deal. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This me, man. I was just calling in. I was on stream.
Oh, okay.
This is Rico.
Oh, okay. Good deal. Good deal. Now, do I have anybody on the phone line that I have not addressed yet? Okay, good deal. Cassandra, what's on your heart, sis?
You got me, Raheem.
Kurt, I don't address you, brother. You don't talk 3-4 times. I see that I have not addressed.
Okay.
I'm coming back to you, though, brother. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, I'm glad if people haven't had anyone affected. Me being in ministry, in the ministry that I have, which I have people around the country that I deal with, I, on the other hand, have people calling me on a daily basis that are losing loved ones, that are sick. I had one guy call me, his entire family had COVID. His wife on an incubator, trying to keep her just breathing. So if you haven't been affected, I'm happy for everybody that hasn't been affected. What about those people that are losing family members, that are devastated at the loss? Does it take for us to feel something only when it hits our home and our friends and our family? No, it hurts me to have people call me and say, man, listen, my mama just passed. My cousin just passed. My sister just died. That affects me as a human being. So I'm glad for people that have not had that, but think about the devastation for those that have had people to die. I don't care if it's one person in their family or one person got so sick that they almost died. Unnecessarily, a lot of times, because people weren't being careful. So, I just want to see people be concerned about other people. No, your family may not have been affected. Y'all all good. That's a blessing. But believe me, because I do this every day, my life is service to people. There are people that are being affected every day by this. Every day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother?
First, let me just address something real quick. I've had a year and a half
where I watched this disease move throughout not only my new family, but my immediate family and my previous family, because we all know I was married before. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I could do is pray. Because in the midst of everybody catching it, I didn't catch it. And I was getting tested almost weekly. And I was not affected by it. But emotionally, I was affected because I didn't know when I was going to get that call that somebody had died. And when I did get calls, it almost made me scared to answer my phone. I stopped answering the phone because I was getting calls of friends who mamas was like my mama growing up, died, passed on. Uncles was my uncles growing up, died, passed on. So we need to quit. I'm not going to say what we need to do. Look, stop acting. If God ain't showing us nothing, man, he's showing us our own vanity. Because the fact that we existing in a space and not having a care and concern for other people because we got a personal opinion is foolish. Now, I'm going to say this and I'm going to end with this because I'm not going to take up a lot of time being foolish. If you believe in God, then please believe that God provides remedies. If you don't believe what I'm saying, then open up your Bible and read when Saul was on the road to Damascus. When Saul was on the road to Damascus, he was blind. He was blind. The power of God, the angels of God came to Simon and told Simon, go down there and see Saul. But because of his fear, he was not going to initially do it. Because of his, I'm going to say that again, because of his fear, he was not going to initially do it. His fear of the government, because Saul was a representative of the government. Saul was killing massive amounts of Christians. Because of his fear of the government, he was not going to do it. The angel convinces Simon to go and see Saul and meet him at the road of Damascus. But here's the real powerful point. Is the angel told him, God told him, look, all I need you to do is when you get to Saul, what I want you to do is I want you to lean down and grab some of the clay and spit in your hand. And once you spit in your hand, rub it together and then rub it over his eyes. What am I saying? What I'm saying is sometimes, y'all, God will provide us remedies right here in front of us. I've heard time and time again, I heard my grandmama say it, I heard my great-grandmama say it, I heard my great-uncles, you name it. Every remedy and cure for every disease is right there in the Bible. You just got to open it up and read it.
Good deal. Mm-hmm.
So what am I saying? Well, you know, we try to separate God from science, which I think is foolish. It's foolish because the greatest scientist to ever exist is God. I get it. Folk on their own rights and benefits. I get that. And, you know, folks got to make decisions about their own personal stuff. I get that because I can't realistically say that they wrong for not taking it because I'm a strong and firm believer that women have the right to choose what they can do and what they don't want to do with their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we got the right to tell a woman that she can't have an abortion.
Okay, Kurt, we're switching topics, brother. We're switching topics. Let's stay where we are.
No, I'm not switching topic, Raheem. It's the same topic.
Okay.
It's the same topic. Don't do me like that. What I'm saying is I agree that we do not have the right to tell people what to do with their bodies.
Okay.
We
Good
don't
deal.
have that right.
Absolutely.
But we as a people have a moral.
Kurt, you got to wrap it up, brother. Got to wrap it up. Mm-hmm.
All right, Brian.
No. You're good, brother. But like I said, I'm trying to implement that 3-minute thing so we can keep the flow going because you know sometimes we talk 5, 10, and 7 minutes, something like that, man. And everybody else is just pretty much just sitting around. I want to include everybody. So you ain't do nothing wrong. I don't want you to think that, but I just want to keep the flow going. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Cassandra?
Yes.
What's on your heart, sis? Rico, coming to you next.
Nothing. I mean, it's really nothing that I could add to what's already been said. My thing is, hopefully we all love people and we want to see people be okay. The mask is just one way to show that we love people and that we care about each other. And it's a simple fix, guys. It's not like you asking people to do anything massive. It's a simple thing that could help prevent someone else, maybe not you, from dying. And if that is a big issue, my God, what if we really had to do some stuff to keep COVID down? I mean, some real stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like kill your firstborn or something. You know, all firstborns have to die because COVID, whatever. It's not that. It's just a simple mask. A simple mask.
And see, I agree wholeheartedly with the mask. Like I said, y'all know how I feel about the mask. I wear my mask everywhere I go. And I said this earlier. I just wear my mask. I have to. Do we have somebody else on the we gonna go to Rico, but do we have somebody else that just call in on the line? Is there somebody else new? Is there a new caller? Okay, good deal. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
There is nothing in the existence and the history of man more important, more precious, more valuable, more special than life. It is our duty to preserve life, even the life that isn't born yet. It is our duty to preserve this gift. Nothing more precious than you will ever experience. With that being said, this is nothing that you should be risking or playing with just because of the way you feel. I haven't lost anybody personally. Nobody in my near vicinity or my inner circle from it. I had one friend that got it and he was sick for a month. Lost a classmate that I hadn't seen in decades. She died a couple of days ago. My grandmother had some sisters that lost some children. I never met them. Numerous, 3 of them in a month's time, less than a month's time. And I have numerous friends that have gone to 4 or 5 funerals in a month, all from COVID-related illnesses. So that's what we're trying to prevent. Now, we all know the past. We know in the past there were pandemics and plagues and everything that hit people so immediately they didn't last a day. But the thing is that sometimes you have to take preventive measures so certain things don't get to that point. See, why do you have to wait till it gets that bad before you make it an issue when you can start preventing it before it becomes an issue? Hard head make a soft butt. See, we talk about researching and history. We also know that through this research and history that there were things that preceded these issues that people ignored. They didn't address properly, like shutting down. Like right now, we need to shut down again. Well, we're ignoring it. They're still having Lollapalooza and Rolling Loud, 50,000 in the crowd strong out there just having fun, getting naked, drunk, and drinking and passing out. They want to have fun. They're thinking about themselves. They'll rather take that risk to have some fun. They would rather risk the potential of getting a COVID-related illness. I ain't gonna call it COVID no more because the sister telling the truth. Sometimes it ain't COVID, but it's COVID-related. And if you could prevent COVID-related deaths, then still make that effort. So once again, I'm going back to the preventive measures. Guess what? I've never been raped before. I've never had cancer before. I've never been hit by a drunk driver. So quite a few things that haven't happened to me because I make an effort to prevent those things from happening. See, I don't want to be one of those that say, well, it can't never happen to me. It can't never happen to me. It ain't happened to me. Then all of a sudden, oh, now I know what it feels like. I share earth with billions of people. They have experiences that I can look at what they're going through and learn from them. And what I'm learning is that I'm going to take some preventive measures so I don't play a part in making this virus turn into something that becomes deadlier. History has shown that too. So are we talking about researching? We need to go back and use a whole lot of reason and logic with that. Some of these diseases and viruses got worse because of the same mentalities. People didn't want to stop doing, they didn't want to get out their comfort zone. They didn't want to use their individualism. They didn't want to think about the next person because, hey, what happened to you, just because it happened to you don't mean it happened to me. I'm all right. It even happens with racism. We got some black people that don't even know when to stand up because they don't suffer what George Floyd went through, so it ain't a problem until they go through it. Man, listen, we share a planet. We share a planet full of people and animals that are experiencing the same greatest gift that we're experiencing in our individual lives, and that's that precious life. Mm-hmm. And we got to do our job and respect each other's life just like we respect our own.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Wow, we got a lot going on this morning, man. And Tucson, I think you was right, man. We might not get to that topic. We might have to pull this in on Wednesday. But what's on your heart right now? Tucson?
I was going to put that what I just shared with you in the comments, but I didn't. Go ahead,
brother.
I went to a funeral, mm-hmm. but I went to a funeral that I did not want to go to. I didn't even expect, but it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what the reasoning was. Don't know how it was. But the last thing I thought that I was going to have to do. And I'm not saying, I'm just saying what I'm saying. But for Christmas, year before last, I decided I need to see all my children. I need to see all my children. I need to see all my grandchildren. So they all, we took the COVID test and we came together. Because I'm getting to, a certain age. I said, I need to see everybody. Little did I know that here comes a phone call while I'm at work, and my niece, my daughter calls me, and my son calls me, and it says they can't wake his baby up, 18 months. So they're trying. 15 minutes later, he calls me and says she's gone. So I have a bad attitude when it comes to not to believe the government or whatever. It's not about the government. I don't care what they do. I'm just saying that I didn't expect this. I don't know. But now I do things for other folks, not me. I wear my mask. I do everything because that was an ugly thing. That was ugly. I'm just saying to you, that yes, was sir. Ugly. And it's still ugly. So if you don't want to wear your mask, don't wear your mask. If you don't want to take, that's up to you. But that's selfish.
Yeah.
Because we intimidated by the government. That's just, it don't make no sense.
Exactly.
For us to be so selfish. So we got to come up with a remedy that we believe we say which we did. You do what you want to do. But I'll see you at a funeral. Because it's coming.
And see, again, I could go right back to that.
Welcome to the norm.
I could go right. I could come right back to. I see you, Tiffany. We can. I can go right back to that, man. I feel there's no part of me, zero, -100, that would tell anybody that not to wear a mask. I tell everybody to wear a mask. And like I say, like Cassandra and I agreed on earlier, sometimes we're the only ones in a building of people that have the mask on. Everybody else walking around willy-nilly. Like, it's okay. No, it's not. I'm going to have my mask on, and people say, you don't have to, and people have said to me, you don't have to have a mask on. You don't have to wear your mask you want to. No, I'm good. I choose to. I leave it right there. Now I'm okay. Go ahead, Tiffany. I saw your hand. Unmute yourself. Tiffany, there you go.
I'm here. As we're having this dialogue going back and forth, it reminds me of why I don't go to church, because it feels like if you don't agree with something or you express your truth, or you express yourself, it's like you're being bullied, or you're having fear pumped into you in order to do something. The fact of the matter is, everybody is going to die at some point. I had a 23-year-old son that died in his sleep 6 years ago. I didn't expect it. I didn't want it. He had epilepsy. It happened. He died. I was hurt. I wanted to commit suicide. Death comes to all of us. Nobody, unless you have a doctor that says you got a certain time to live, then you really know somebody is about to expire. If you work in hospice, which I have done, you know that people are about to expire. But nobody wakes up in the morning believing that they're going to lose a loved one. And just because nobody in my family has suffered behind COVID, that doesn't mean that I don't empathize with people that suffer. But guess what? I also empathize with people that are being bombed, innocent men and women and children being bombed all over this world. I empathize with people that are having to find food instead of going to school. But at the same time, you know, I have to look at the world for what the world has shown me in my 47 years of living. And I go on that, you know, and a lot of times we say, you know, put your trust in God, but you know, a lot of times I just don't see it. Your words and your actions don't mix, because if you give it to God, his will be done. That doesn't mean that you're going to live just because you believe. It doesn't mean that you're not going to suffer just because you pray and you ask for something. God's will be done. When it's your time, it's your time. Sometimes things happen in order for you to change your way of thinking and moving around. Maybe sometimes things happen because you believe in man more than you believe in the one that created man. And, you know, I don't like how we're on this platform and we may have different opinions or different belief systems on the topic. We shouldn't have to go at each other and try to make sure our point is more valid and minimize somebody else's point, because all points are valid. And maybe something that you said may make me think about something different, maybe something I said, but you should never negate nobody's thoughts on this platform. I'm done.
Okay. And I don't think that's intentional, but it's just everybody's actually voicing their opinion as to where they're coming from and their own expertise. And to your point about everybody's going to die, that's true. But at the same time, I think what we're talking about right now is we don't want to speed it up by not doing the necessary things that we could do. If we could do something to keep us here longer, I think that's one of the things that we're talking about. And I think wearing the mask, not necessarily. I'm not even going to speak on the vaccine, but wearing the mask, because you yourself said and you put your mask on.
I got mask.
Thought you was going to rob somebody when you put your mask on, but you put your mask on. And so I think let me go to Cassandra. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Okay, so I'm anybody that knows me knows I'm not a knock down the church every Sunday girl.
Yeah.
I don't believe that's what it is. I believe your Christianity comes from your relationship, your personal relationship with God.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thing. I don't go to church every Sunday. I may not go to church in several months,
God almighty.
But I have relationship, and several months, several.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, so that's
Cassandra,
not the basis for my relationship.
Cassandra, I'm a little nervous, Cassandra, because you emphasizing several too strongly. I'm a little concerned.
Well,
now,
yeah.
but we'll talk about that later. But you emphasizing several real strongly right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's just, but I believe that relationship is what makes you a Christian, not church attendance. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not one of those, every Sunday girls. That's just not me.
Yeah.
But my thing is, And I feel like Tiffany was pointing that at me, but so just let me say, because I did interrupt you, I did not do that because I was just trying to be nasty. I get very passionate about the things that, because I deal with life and death every day in ministry, dealing with people dying every day in ministry, I sometimes, get over passionate. So I apologize for that, because that's not who I am. And anybody on this line that knows me knows that I'm all about people. My life is about people. So I apologize for that, for interrupting you. But it wasn't out of trying to be nasty or cut down what you were saying. I just said what I had to say, and I apologize for that, because I should have let you go ahead and say what you need to say. Then I could have responded. So
That's right.
Publicly, I apologize, because that's not who I am. But for anything else, Raheem, anything else, I still stick by what I say.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to be, first of all, prophetically, I'm going to tell you, it's a whole lot of dying about to happen in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And around the world,
Mm-hmm.
but especially this country, because we are totally disobedient. We are totally divided. That's on race lines, in the church, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to leave that right there. Y'all can, those of you that are prophetic, you know exactly what's happening with that.
Exactly.
So we need to watch out for that.
Mm-hmm.
We're in trouble.
Exactly. And see, the thing about it, and that's one of the reasons why I love the Morning Glow, because moments like that, man, people listening in, they'll think it was argument and stuff like that. It was just, everybody's passionate about what they feel, and everybody have their own opinion. Like I said earlier, from their expertise and the walk that they've walked in life. We're not gonna always agree. That's a beautiful thing. Families don't always get along. Families argue. Families fuss. Sometimes they fight, but at the same time, still family. And that's just what it is. Hold on, Tiffany. I got another caller just called in. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Talking to me is Brother Pete. I'm on this earpiece. I can barely hear you all. I hope everyone's doing well this morning. DKM radio panelists and audience.
Yes, sir. Doing good. Doing good. Good to have you, brother. I know you've been listening in for a minute, man. We're talking about the different situations that's going on throughout this whole COVID thing. United Airlines has told their employees that if they don't get vaccinated, they can no longer work. There was a gentleman that was on Spirit Airline that first class. He decided that he did not, on a 4-hour flight, decided he did not want to wear a mask, became banned from the airline. And there was another one. What's the other one? What was the other one? What was the third one, Tucson?
United employees.
Yeah, I said that one. United employees. They said that it was a third one as well. Anybody remember the third one?
Fauci.
Yeah,
Fauci.
Dr. Fauci. Good deal. Appreciate it. Dr. Fauci said that he think that everybody in the medical field, if you're in the medical field, you have a responsibility and you have to get vaccinated, or you shouldn't be able to work in the medical field. There's 3 different angles. Pete, where you want to go? Where you want to go with it?
Well, if they're going to make things mandatory, people have questions about their personal body, what they do and don't want to do with respect to a international global pandemic. That's going to raise some concerns. In a land where
Hey, Pete, your volume is very low, brother. Your volume is very low.
Yeah, you sound real low to me too. I don't know what that is.
Man, turn that volume up, man. You got that volume, but hit that
all the way up on my end.
It is. Well, look here. I like you
all the way up on my end.
I like you in the football stadium and talk a little louder. We next to each other inside. We watch the game.
So, in a land where people feel they have individual rights,
mm-hmm.
and they have guns and bullets trying to force people to do something to their body, certainly raise an issue. Like my dear sister was saying, spiritually speaking, what are you going to do when God rises up? And if indeed God is rising up, we have some things in front of us that we may not have ever seen before, that we may be privy to witness. That's just a serious point, making something like that mandatory. In the past, the records reflected that it was not approved, that it was somewhat of a test. Different aspects of this has never been tried before, so it raises, a pause with individuals and some concern. So I just said we got something in front of us. We have some that are equipped to do it, and they haven't had effects. You have some that have taken it, and they've had some issues. You have those that don't want to take it. Some of them may have experienced some symptoms, and some may have not experienced anything. So that's an issue that's all over the place. I believe it's going to continue to be all over the place in this country. And any efforts to force it on the masses of the people will probably result in a violent backlash.
Exactly. That's good. That's good. Tiffany, you got your hand up?
Yeah, I wanted to first accept Cassandra's apology. I mean, I used to be on the Morning Glow all the time. I know how we can get spicy. But I also want to say that she is right about, we think this is just the tip of the iceberg, what goes around comes around, and people, this country, America, has done so much to people all over the world, and everybody gets its turn. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gets its turn. And we're not our brother's keeper. We don't take care of each other. We don't love each other. We don't, back in the days, if you had a neighbor that was hungry, y'all put y'all food together and stuff like that, and everybody ate. Now we don't care if people are starving or not. And the farther we go away from the God inside of us, the worse things become. So, we just have to be ready for it. And the thing is, I know that bad things are coming, but you know what? When you do dirt, you get dirt. So, you just got to be, I'm not afraid of it, because I can't expect people in other lands to suffer and not think that people in our country won't suffer.
Good
So
deal.
It is what it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Kurt, what's on your heart, brother? Kurt, you there? Might have lost Kurt there. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, I wanted to throw it out there too in case he took some of what I said as being that way, because it wasn't intended that way. It's really just to sort of extend or go further along with some of the comments that she made, to so people won't be confused, just like sometimes people have to come back behind me and I'm gonna say I'm trying to think of the word. Where they go into more in depth.
Elaborate
on what you were trying to say.
Elaborate,
right? So like earlier I made a comment about the CEO of Pfizer, and then I got an old friend that I went to school with commented that it was disinformation, which it was, because I left it incomplete. The man from Pfizer did take his first shot, but he hadn't taken his second one. So he was, not allowed to do what he wanted to do. And so my point that I was really wanting to make was that even if he felt comfortable with the shot, why is it that he hasn't even got his second one yet? So, even though he might have taken that first one, if he was confident in it and he was supporting it the way he wants everybody else to take it, this is the producer, not a CEO. Why is it that he still hadn't taken his second shot in August of 2021? They've been the vaccine been out, so that means there are millions of people, or hundreds of thousands of people that took the vaccine before he even took it. So, to me, I feel like if the people that's promoting it need to take it to prove that it's good, but that's just a different opinion. But going back to what, on Tiffany's end, the only reason I want to come back to clarify some of the things she said, because it is true. We all going to die. Ain't nobody going to get past this. Everybody going to die of something one day. But that mentality still has to have some reason behind it. We do look both ways before we cross the street. We do try not to drunk drive. We do try to drive without testing. We do stop at red lights. Some people don't pay attention to them and they run through them, and we know the consequences. So that what I'm saying is that even though we all gonna die one day, that doesn't mean that you just go out here and risk it every day. You don't go out here and act like that you shouldn't take measures to make sure that you don't die. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be the fact that you knowing that you were going to die one day or something, that you do everything you can to make sure you don't participate in making it happen too much sooner.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you know, we still got to, yeah, we do understand that everybody's going to die something one day, but this thing can evolve. You know, we're going back to talking about researching in history. We have seen situations where things started small and they got worse because they were not addressed the way they were supposed to, or maybe people took their time at addressing it. Now we may be in that situation again. We're saying it's number 3. Well, what are we supposed to do to make sure it doesn't become number 1? Keep doing what we're doing, or do something different so it can go from number 3 to number 8 to non-existent. So, I mean, yeah, we're going to die of something, true enough. But it don't mean I'm going to go out here and risk that life or that opportunity to die every day. I'm still going to look both ways before I cross the street. I'm still going to put down cigarettes. I'm still going to take precautions to try to live as long as possible while I got a chance.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good deal. Good deal. Tiffany, I saw you. I'm going to touch a few more people. I'm coming right back to you since I'm making my circle around. Who all do we got here? Now, Donald Toussaint, you still with us?
Yes, sir.
Talk to me, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And you know, this is only dialogue. We have a conversation. Some people are very passionate about how they feel. That's good. That's why you have these type of discussions, so that we can. I believe that even me and you, Raheem, feel different about certain things.
Yes, sir.
So be it. It is what it is. I'm not gonna fall out. I'm good. I'm good.
Absolutely.
Here's what I think the final analysis is. It's just me now. America is getting their due diligence. What you worked to get to achieve, your payday is coming. What all of the things that they have done and got away with for years, even us. I'm not talking about no gender. I'm not talking about no nationality. I'm not talking about white, black. I'm talking about America as a whole. We're getting what we deserve.
Yes, sir.
Because one thing that we know about the United States of America, that's a lie when you start to talk about the first word you use, united. We're not.
No.
We're divided. We're divided. And you know another thing about it is,
what is
everybody calling on the name of the Lord, and none of us is really trusting him. We got to, whether you take the vaccine, you still got to trust him. When you don't take the vaccine, you still got to trust him. If you get the virus, you got to trust him. If you don't get it, you got to trust him. We're depending on everything but him. And just me, whoever may be listening, just me, Donald Toussaint. Since we have tossed him to the side, I believe that what he says, make your own choice, and let's see how that works.
Exactly.
We are free agents. You can do exactly what you want to. What are the results? Look around you.
Look around. Good deal. Tiffany, you had something on your heart? You're in that doggone mute button. You still muted. Nope. Stop hitting it. Right there.
It's still red. Can you hear me?
Yes. We got you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I hear what everybody's saying, but there was a time when the only medicine we needed came from the plants. The big mamas would go and make elixirs and stuff like that. There used to be a time when the doctors only had a little black bag. And now, we're being pumped up with all these medications and stuff like that, these little cures. I can honestly say that at 47.7, I'm not on any medications for anything. I don't have hypertension. I don't have none of that stuff. Am I a little overweight? I am, and I need to work on that. But for the most part, I don't have any issues, no medical issues. I don't have nothing in my medicine cabinet. I don't even take medicine for a headache. I got to be really irritated with a stuffy nose to take some Theraflu. But the point is, we're relying so heavily on these man-made poisons that we're not going back to nature. I think we should go back to nature because those remedies worked. And the only reason why we're taking medicine is because people realized they could profit off of it and stuff. And, a lot of hypertension, what did you say? The top two, heart disease and cancer?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then COVID. Well, in the news the other day, it said that a lot of people that are obese have a higher rate of dying from COVID. And so we got to take care of ourselves. Popeye's chicken still got people in line. You know what I'm saying? We worrying about COVID. We need to get to the basics and worry about doing the small things to take care of ourselves, like getting in shape, even if it's just walking every day and eating better and exercising a little bit better, because we're not physically prepared for these pandemics and stuff. And that's all I want to say.
And y'all know I got there's always a point and a time in the broadcast where I got to be silly. This is it right here. I got to be silly. This girl talking about going out there in the back getting some plants and voodoo. Girl, you talking about voodoo? Girl, that voodoo. You talking about you put some voodoo on some people? Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, and I agree with Tiffany. There are things in nature because God created these things so that they can heal the body. But because we've become who we are as a world, I'm talking about as human beings, a lot of the things that were here that could have healed, many of them have been destroyed. We know that there are lots of plants and stuff that have been destroyed, never to be seen again. And those that are here, and I have, and it even hurts me to talk about it. I have a friend right now that was diagnosed with stomach cancer 3 years ago, right? And she was in third stage at the time, and she told them she didn't want any chemo or anything. She wanted to do homeopathic natural stuff. So she was heavy regimen, doing the herbs and the health and all that. And she did that for the last 2 years. Well, she has continued to do a decline. Now she's in fourth stage, and there's nothing that the doctors can do, period. Not all of the stuff that she used, Dr. Sabo, what is it? Sabo, right? Sabian, or whatever his name. Yeah, she did all of his stuff for 2 years, and now she's dying. I understand we don't want the meds, we don't like the meds, but sometimes when we let it go the way she has, now she's dying, and there's nothing that no one, and she is a beautiful person. So I agree. We just have to use wisdom, guys, for everything. Whatever we do, whatever our belief system is, we have to use wisdom because the Bible talks about that. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So I unfortunately, I have health issues that had nothing to do with what I did. I had a beating that caused me to have brain damage. Now I'm suffering with an illness that it cannot be reversed. You understand? So, some things happen that we don't have any control over, but what we can do, let's do it. What we can do to save lives, to help each other, let's do those things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you, Tiffany, I'm going to touch a few more people. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? Rico, come to you next.
Yeah. The way, it's like when things don't kind of set with us, and I don't know, it seems like I ain't going to say that. If you do what you want to do, if the thing about it is, what is the solution? If 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 this vaccine is a solution, then I don't know. I don't know if it is or not.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I do know, there are some people that are walking around here that are carriers. They only carry. And they walk around, they ain't got no mask on. Some people don't wash their hands. There's something going on that causes us to continue to be. How long we been this? This is a year and 8 months or more. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know how long we've been in the pandemic. So if all of us that feel strongly about how you feel, is what you're doing helping or is it hurting? And so if that's the way that you want to continue to live life, I think this pandemic is, it works for me. I mean, I'm good with it. I ain't got sick yet.
Exactly.
But it's not about me. It's really not about me. It's about the people that I come in contact with. So I got to be more than concerned with Donald. I ain't got sick. Well, I still go to funerals. I'm just saying. Anyway. Yeah. Y'all have a good day.
It is what it is. Rico.
Yo.
Yes, sir. Come on, brother. Talk to me.
I was glad Tiffany went there, man, because that's the type of stuff I'll be on. I'm definitely on us getting back in order and getting away from being so dependent on these superficial man-made products. Don't get me wrong. I do believe that we need to use some things as needed, but don't use it as a regimen, because after a while you become dependent on man-made substances, and then it changes your whole body function. Like I believe, like with man-made drugs, I don't find anything wrong with natural drugs, but man-made drug prescriptions, man, I do not trust them. I take them only when nothing else works. Last resort. That's when I use man-made medicine, because I research. I know my history, not just pertaining to medicine, but just pertaining to behavior of the people in power, just behavior of those in the dominant society, just knowing the behavior of how these people have treated a manipulated society in every aspect of our existence. I'm gonna remain apprehensive. But I do remember a point in time where we weren't so dependent. So to a certain extent, I'm gonna be honest with you, when this pandemic hit, I was never in fear. I was almost sort of happy, because I knew that when they shut everything down, the world was gonna slow down. And that's something that we needed so dearly. We needed to realize that we can survive without some of these things that we think we can't survive with. Some people thought they weren't gonna be able to survive for 2 or 3 weeks or a month with a shutdown. But guess what happened? You survive. You survive without going to McDonald's. You survive without going to get your nails done. You survive without going to all these things. You survive not going to the club. Everybody was able to survive. They didn't think they could survive. Some people don't think they'll be able to survive without this technology, man. If they ever take cell phones away and air conditioning level, but you know what? We may need to go back off grid. See, somebody survived and got us to where we are to this day without any of these luxuries that we got. But now all of a sudden we're in a situation where we are in the grips of an ancient prehistoric acting virus, and we won't even be prehistoric and logical and shut down again. I mean, you know, when she said that, she said, when Tiffany said that, I was like, man, she hit it on the head again. I said it earlier. We have become so dependent. They have us so in favor of indulging in our carnal needs, not even our needs, our wants and desires, that they know we would prefer to risk our lives than to do the best and the most effective means to fight this thing. It was a shutdown. And nobody's even speaking about that. You hear more people still going back and forth about the vaccine and the mask, Well, the ultimate solution would be to shut it down. Then you don't have to worry about a mask or a vaccine. Screw you, stay at home. Now you can't spread it. You're ignorant and hard-headed. You want to live your best life. You don't want to do what's best for everybody else in society. We'll shut it down again. But guess what? That most logical thing ain't on the table, and they got us out here arguing over the most illogical things. And I ain't gonna say they're illogical. I'm gonna say the ones that are not the most effective.
Exactly.
So why not make the most effective way to fight this virus the option?
Absolutely. Stay your behind at home. You ain't got to go nowhere. Tiffany, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. There was a video of staff in the White House. They were about to go on TV, and they didn't know that they were on camera. And there was like 15 of them. And out of the 15, only 2 had masks on. But then when they realized that they were on camera, everybody was scrambling to put the mask on. So I'm saying this to say, don't believe everything that you see on TV. And then going back to what I said about going back to the basics, you know, we used to, well, not me, because my grandmother never made me do it, but, you know, people used to take a spoonful of castor oil or whatever remedies. That was preventative measures, you know, and a lot of times when we get sick, then we want to go back to the roots to, you know, when it's too late. It's something that we have to do to prevent things from occurring so that if and when we already have what we need to fight. But the pandemic, it showed me that what I was doing was right, because I have 7 children, 3 grandchildren, and an ex-husband. And when they were growing up, they didn't have video games. We had board games. We did things together. We cooked together. We ate together. And so when the pandemic hit, my son was in New York. He said, I'm coming down there with you guys, because if we're going to die, we're going to die together as a family. We were outside in the backyard playing badminton. We were playing Monopoly and playing card games and having fun and spending time together, talking about things that, you know, may have been on each other's minds and stuff. And it brought an already close family even closer. So, you know, if we get back to the basics and we put our trust in God, a lot of these things that the government tries to do, it wouldn't be effective, because we would be too strong and able to fight.
Good deal. Well, it's about time for us to get out of here. It is actually 10:01. Rico, what's going on at 3 o'clock today, sir?
If you missed today's show and would like to catch the replay of it in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com. I like to say too many W's.
Yeah, you got caught up on them W's, brother. www. Oh, Lord, let me mix it up a little bit. You did good, brother. Cassandra.
Yes, sir.
Can I get you to pray us out, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Father, we just thank you for everything that has been said and done on this day, God. We thank you for everyone under the sound of my voice. I ask you to bless us, God, and to sustain us and to guide us through your spirit and in your word, God, so that we would come to an understanding of each other, God, and of the things that are happening in your world. God, we just know that these are times when we have to pray, and it's time for us to unify as never before. We thank you right now. The DKM is a medium where we can come together, that we can agree to disagree, and we can still walk in love. We thank you for Raheen and for this platform. Everyone under the sound of my voice, bless them this day and forevermore, God. Keep us all under your graces, your mercy, God. These and all other blessings we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. We're about to get out of here for today. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your day. It is now 10:03. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me 2 favors, if you will. 1, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number 2, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day. and a better tomorrow. We shine some of this light on you from the morning glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. You all have a great day. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Love you. And each and every one of you, stay blessed.